So I'm going to skip a little content here and turn it over to Amy from Wild Souls Ranch. She was so gracious enough to take on our program this week. So I'm going to stop sharing here and see if I can turn it over to her. Bear with me here. And allow her to, there we go.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Let me try sharing my screen. Let's see. Can you see my screen?
Can.
Okay. How do I start the slideshow?
So on the bottom right, you have like next to that volume toggle is the slideshow.
Sorry, guys.
Well, I keep touching the screen, which is inappropriate. If you see one of the menu bars up there that says slideshow.
Yeah.
Keep going, right there. Click on that and go play from start.
Thank you. Okay. So I am the new development director at Wild Souls Ranch. I'll just go through briefly kind of how we were founded and some of our programs and just a general overview of what we do. And then if you guys have questions, hopefully there's time for that. So we're a nonprofit located in Fortuna. Our ranch is right there. I don't know why I'm pointing, but you can see the picture right there, hopefully, of our barn and some of our horses. And our mission is to provide therapeutic equine youth and family services for foster youth, adopted youth, or any at-risk youth or families that are experiencing and healing from trauma or challenges. And we're a place to learn the value of hard work and develop a sense of self and practice communication skills, working on building relationships and just healing and learning and growing. So briefly, we were founded in 2013 by our executive director, Savannah McCarty, who is a former foster youth and decided to dedicate her life. She received equine therapy when she was a ward of the state, and she was determined to offer the same service that she received when she was a youth to the children of Humboldt County who are experiencing what she experienced. Equine assisted growth and learning, it's kind of a mouthful. And what is it? It's a tool that's both nationally and internationally recognized for emotional growth and learning. It's really profound and powerful, and I kind of didn't understand that until I was witnessing it for myself every day. Going out to the ranch and being involved in the kids' sessions is really powerful. And it's not limited to just riding horses. We get that question a lot. Oftentimes we have people ask, like, can you give horseback riding lessons to my child? But no, it's specifically for youth that are healing from some sort of trauma or challenge. So there has to be that kind of component to qualify for the program. And it utilizes taking care of the horses as well as like the ranch in general, and having some ownership to the ranch. So we incorporate that into our sessions. And then skills naturally evolve for a child who is eager to be with a horse, because horses are so hands-on, as you might imagine. And why are horses so powerful as a tool for emotional growth and learning? Obviously, they're large and powerful animals, so respect happens naturally between the child or the human and the horse, and boundaries are clearly understood, and they have to be for everybody's safety. Horses are prey animals, and they're more attuned to environmental activity. They're the most sensitive animal, so they can really pick up on things that humans wouldn't notice. And they have potential for allowing people to overcome fear and develop confidence that can be translated into real life situations. So we use that a lot in our sessions. We're incorporating whatever the child might be experiencing or trying to develop into the session, and how they would be able to take away what they've learned in the session and utilize that tool in real life. I'll go more into that a little bit later. Horses put people at ease oftentimes because they're unbiased and non-judgmental. They respond only to people's intent and behavior. They really mirror the energy that you're bringing before them. It's amazing. And they're social animals with their own personalities. And there's a whole herd dynamic. I won't talk too much about that, but it's kind of fascinating. Like I said, they're a direct mirror of ourselves and provide insight and growth into kind of what we need to be working on. It's said that if a horse isn't responding how you're intending, you need to change how you're asking or requesting something of the horse. And I need to add a slide into this, but a brain scan of a horse and a child who've experienced trauma are nearly identical, and I find that fascinating. So our sessions typically are 1 hour to an hour and a half in length, and they usually occur after school, beginning with a sort of a check-in activity just to kind of gauge where the child is at in that moment. And then they do a 15-minute chore to kind of get involved in the care of the ranch and the horses. That helps them establish some responsibility and have some pride and ownership of Wild Souls. Then the bulk of the session is the therapeutic activity with the horses. So that might be, eventually it might be riding the horse, but at first it might be just some kind of energy or what's called liberty work with a horse in like a enclosed arena. You can actually move a horse around an arena just by raising and lowering your energy without actually physically touching the horse. So that's kind of one component to the sessions early on when kids come out, and then kind of gradually they'll learn to ride. And then we close with a debriefing activity to really kind of talk about what was learned, what feelings came up, how they might implement things at home and at school, that sort of thing. And Wild Souls is very different than most nationally and internationally recognized equine assisted growth and learning programs, because for the most part, those models don't allow for riding. It's more of like, if you think of kind of reading to a dog as like a therapeutic activity, or where you're just petting and hanging out with the dog and reading to them, it's kind of similar to that. It would be akin to like just hanging out with the horse, maybe pet them and do talk therapy in the ranch setting or around the horse. And those models believe that clients can't tell the difference between horsemanship and therapy, so looks very different than the Wild Souls Ranch model. So just a list of our programs. We have the Equine Assisted Growth and Learning program. I'll go in more detail in a moment, but we have a wraparound program, and that's a state-funded program for post-adopted youth, and that's a more intensive program. We have a colt starting program that's newly developed. Whoops, I don't know what happened. Sorry. Supervised visitation opportunities. We have a summer camp, and we have a youth leadership program. So equine assisted growth and learning, like I said, it usually occurs after school. Some kids come out on the weekend, however, and they typically attend one time a week or once every other week. And horses are used as the main tool for the emotional growth and learning component. And then the goals of our program are really motivated by where the youth is at. But typically what we see is them working on reducing anxiety, develop trust, learning self-evaluation, building self-esteem, relationship building, and developing or enhancing socialization skills. Our wraparound program is, like I said, it's a more intense program. It's 18 months of intensive therapeutic services, including the family as a whole. When we're working with youth and families in this program, it's really looking at what the family as a whole needs to be able to safely maintain the child in the home so that the child doesn't have to go receive more intense residential treatment for behaviors or whatever the case may be. It's designed to prevent that from happening. So we're really wrapping around the whole family with intensive services to prevent that. Again, it's a strengths-based program, and it's really family-driven, so it's tailored to, like I said, whatever is needed for the family. And it's flexible, and we're able to be really creative in our approach and services that we provide in this program. The teams address the needs of the entire family, not just the child, so that's an important component of this one. It's staffed with a LMFT, behavioralists, occupational therapists, social workers, transporters, and behavioral aides. So services for the wraparound program typically occur both at the ranch and at the home, since we're including the whole family. Oops, sorry. How do I go back?
Right backspace.
Oh,
Our arrow buttons work.
there we go. So we incorporate neurofeedback, EMDR, play therapy. We involve the parents in the sessions, or offer parents sessions for themselves, and can coordinate short-term respite care with the wraparound program. Again, our colt starting program is fairly new. Last year was our first year launching that program, but it was really successful. We designed that one for older youth to allow them to be able to maintain a connection to the ranch and the horses after they've graduated from their equine assisted growth and learning program. We found that there was a need to offer some sort of structured activity or way for them to still be involved in the ranch. So we created the colt starting program. This year I'm really excited because we're trying to just develop it even further and learn more about how how to teach colt starting from a Montana State University professor who's he's actually the head of the Equine Studies department at Montana State, and he's gonna possibly remotely or maybe come out depending on where things are at with the COVID, but kind of guide us. He's a big supporter of Wild Souls, so he's going to kind of guide us and help us develop that curriculum even more. But it is actually teaching teens how to start colts themselves. And it's a 3 to 5 day a week program at the ranch from 9 to noon. And typically it's June through August, or it was last year. So we'll see how that looks this year. But our goal is definitely to just improve upon that program and develop it even more and be able to serve more teens. Our supervised visitation, I'm wrapping it up. I'm seeing that it's 8 o'clock now, so I'll try to go through the last part really quickly. We do offer supervised visitation. We have an experienced visitation monitor, and typically she'll meet with the youth and family in our Eureka office that we have, or maybe at the ranch. I think that program is kind of at capacity right now. I don't think we're able to take on new families at the moment. So, and then we have a summer camp. It's free for youth currently in foster care, and I believe any youth that need assistance can come. We find a way. Last year, I don't think anybody paid to attend if they were in foster care currently or not. We were able to allow every attendee to come for free. And it's offered to foster and adopted youth from 5 to 11. And it's a week-long camp designed to just sort of introduce the kids to what we do, allowing them to just kind of heal and get involved in a short amount of time. And then oftentimes later in the year, they'll actually become participants in the program. Then we have our youth leadership. I think this is the last one. And that encourages, again, youth who have graduated from the program to be involved in the ranch and help the younger attendees and kind of help them give back what they got from the ranch and from the horses. I was going to mention sponsorship opportunities or ways to support Wild Souls, but things are a little bit in flux. I'm not sure if we're going to have our annual Sip of Summer festival. It was supposed to be in June, but it's looking like we might have to postpone that or cancel it. Last year we had 800 people attend, and it was really successful, so we're kind of looking at what it means if we have to hold off. There were sponsorship opportunities available for that event, but now things are changing so much. I don't know where we stand exactly. But you can always purchase hay for us or for the herd at Eel River Hay. We have an account there, so it's really easy to call them up and say, hey, I'd like to put money on the account for Wild Souls if somebody was so inclined. And then donations supporting the scholarship program that allows the youth to attend equine growth and learning sessions for free at no cost to them or their family. So I think that's it. And if you guys have any questions, I know it's after 8, so no worries if I'm out of time.
Thank you. Great program.
Thank you.
What's the average cost to sponsor a child for any program?
Sorry, what was that? Can you repeat that?
What's the average cost to sponsor a kid for a program?
That's hard to gauge because the length of time that a child is in a program varies so greatly. It's hard to give like this is how much it costs. We haven't really figured that out yet because it varies by child so much.
Is it just limited to foster care, children in foster care, or can anybody with trauma experiences apply?
Anybody with trauma experiences, yeah.
Thank you.
Do you have any other questions out there?
I just wanted to put a plug in for Amy. She was my case supervisor when I first became a CASA, and she's awesome, obviously, and I miss her in that capacity. So I was so excited when she joined Rotary, and I'm super jealous of what you get to do every day, Amy, and I'm happy for you.
Thank you. That's so sweet. I miss you too.
Good job.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Amy, for your presentation. I know I've been a few of your fundraisers, and just witnessing the work you guys do is pretty awesome. So thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for listening and being patient as I stumble through this weird way to present to you guys. Hopefully it was bearable.